I want you to pay attention to the following thing I'm going to say, because it's extremely important, because it's a mindset shift. Often, I am asked to motivate people. And what people are looking for when they want motivation is they're looking for a fire inside of them that makes them want to do hard things, or the grit and determination to push through a wall which previously they saw as insurmountable. And the reason they need motivation to do this is because they think hard is bad. They think this is hard and I need to be pushed to do this to save my bloodline, to avoid eternal slavery, to make money, whatever it is. This is hard and I need somebody to encourage me to do whatever it takes to get through it. Because you view hard in the negative. Truthfully, it is the hard things in life that are the best things in life. It's amazing how God has linked difficulty and value. There is nothing in life which is valuable, which is not hard to obtain and hard to keep. Not a single thing. That's why it has value in the first place. If gold was everywhere, nobody would care about gold. People want gold because it is hard to find. That's the whole point of it. Difficulty, value are inextricably linked. So when you see something as hard, you see something as valuable, and you have to train your mind to be excited by hard things, to feel energized by the challenge, to feel self-motivated, not externally. You're self-motivated by the chance to prove to God you deserve this hard thing. And the most beautiful thing about difficult things is that it deters a large contingent of the populace, because most people are not ready for hard. When they see hard, they quit. When they see hard, they make excuses for why they don't want it anymore. They cope. When most people see hard, they shy away from it, which is extremely important, because you only want the things you want because other people can't have them. You want that girl because other people haven't had her. If everyone's had her, you don't want her. You want that car because other people can't buy it. You want to do what other people can't do. This has been the basis of masculinity since the dawn of human time. The Egyptians built the pyramid because it was hard, so that when people saw it, they knew it was hard to do because others couldn't do it. Men wanted to be the first people to sail the 7 seas and risk their lives, to cross Antarctica and risk freezing to death, to be the first person to do it, so that everybody would say, wow, I bet that was hard. So people used to wake up and think of hard things they could possibly do. They'd wake up with a very fine and normal life, just like you are. You wake up, you have a bed, you have food, you're not freezing to death, you probably have a woman who texts you back, your life's fine, right? Some men are okay with that. Some men think, what is something hard I can do from here? In days of old, they would say, here's this unexplored land. That looks hard to get to. Let me take the risk so that my name is remembered. You should feel fantastic when you're given a challenge. When hard is put in front of you, you should say, finally, God, finally you've given me something difficult. My life has been too easy for too long. I'm too capable to live such a meager existence and simply survive.
Perhaps 50, 60 years ago, you could be a normal man with a normal job, have a normal life and a normal wife and a normal house and a normal car and be happy. But the world we are now living in is proving that being a normal man is nothing more than slavery. Being a normal law-abiding citizen with a normal income and a normal wage and one passport and a normal wife is going to leave you depressed. Sooner or later, she's going to leave you. You're going to end up fucking suicidal and miserable. This is what I don't understand about people, especially men in the world today. Why are they so worried about being afraid? Why are they so worried about, I was afraid every time I fought.
Yeah.
I fought anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I don't let fear guide what I'm going to do. I do what I'm supposed to do regardless of how I feel. So I don't see anything wrong with feeling fearful. I don't see anything wrong with feeling stressed or under pressure or anxious. All these things men are trying to get rid of. And I talk about men specifically. I gender this because I'm a man. I don't know how it feels to be a woman. But all these things that people are trying very hard to get rid of from their brains, I don't see why they need to leave. I will argue the point that if I feel anxious and pressured and stressed and fearful, I will get more done than if I was happy. I think if I was happy, I'd just be hedonistic and just wasting my time. I think that you get a whole bunch done with these negative connotations and negative emotions. And I think that life is suffering and pain and you're here to go through it. And that sooner you get used to the taste, the more successful you're going to be. I have no interest in trying to change the flavor, my friend. The flavor of life is pain, and I will eat all of it. And it doesn't matter if they put me back in jail or not. I'm not sitting there going, how can I be happy in jail? I will sit in jail and say, yes, this sucks. It's supposed to suck. Yes, I'm not enjoying this. Yes, I'm anxious and paranoid. And yes, that guy might stab me. And yes, I can't sleep and I miss my family. And this is what's supposed to happen to me. And this is how I become the best man I can possibly be. And I'm going to succeed regardless. So if you're not the person who's waking up every day going, how do I improve my existence? Then nobody is. Nobody on the planet is considering improving your one spin on Earth.
No one else cares.
Nobody else cares. So if you don't care, then you're fucked. So you need to wake up and care. And it's amazing to me, like you're saying, how did I find my mentors? I just tried a bunch of them. Like when I had no money, I would try very hard I'd listen to lots of different people, or I tried different things. And I wasn't scared to invest in myself, because I understand that, look, if he's taking time out of his life, then I need to reward him for it financially. And I tried very hard, and I listened, and I paid attention, and I was never lazy. I don't believe there's a person on the planet who pays attention, tries their best, is never lazy, is on time, works hard, has a mentor, and is giving it his all, who isn't rich. I don't believe it. I think that if you do all those things, you're rich. And if you don't have any money, you're missing one of those key elements. Now, you can fool yourself and you can fool everyone else and you can pretend you're doing them, but if you're truly honest with yourself, am I finding people who are trying to teach me what I want to know, and am I trying my best? My answer's fucking no every time. For you to become rich and successful is going to require pain and suffering. And you have to understand exactly what your dream life is to make the pain and suffering worthwhile. Think about it. Have you ever been to the gym and seen a person in fantastic physical condition? They're strong, they're ripped, they're large. And you say to them, how did you get so big and strong? And they say, I don't know. Oops, it kind of just happened. Or have you ever found a really rich man or a very successful man and said, how did you become rich and successful? And he goes, I don't know, bro. I just woke up one day and it kind of happened and now I'm living my dream life. No, there is a very detailed plan and roadmap. For you to become strong, you must eat a certain way. You must train a certain way. For you to become rich, you must earn money a certain way. You must understand exactly how you're going to make money, whether you're going to be a public-facing figure like me or a man of the shadows with millions of dollars. Unknown, but extremely powerful. You have to design your dream life. What house are you going to live in? Who's your woman going to be? Is she blonde? Is she brunette? What car are you going to drive? Have you even gone on the internet and spec'd your car? You can design your dream car right now for free on the internet, and you can choose the color. You can choose the wheels. You can choose the carb. Is it a Lamborghini? Is it a Ferrari? Is it a McLaren? How much does it cost to the dollar? We talk about your dream life. You don't even know what your dream life is. How do you expect to get to a destination when you don't know where you're going? The last thing I am is a hater. If you make a bunch of money and you pull up next to me in a Lambo, I'm going to be the guy who shakes your hand and says, gee, boom, you escaped the matrix. Congratulations. Welcome to the free world. That makes me happy. I want all of you to win. I'm not a hater. I'm not out here hoping I get to win and you lose. If you lose, you deserve to lose because you didn't take action. If you take action, you will win. Everybody always says, if you tried your best, that's all that matters. The best is all you can do. If you tried your best, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you lose if you tried your best. Most people have heard that before. But there is a secret to the universe that most don't know. If you actually try your best, you can't lose. Not pretend to try your best. Not try your best 90% of the time. Not try your best with excuses. If you genuinely try your best all of the time, all day, every day, it's impossible to lose. So when people say, if you tried your best, it's okay to lose, that is a logic fail. Because if you lost, you didn't try your best in the first place. If you actually try your best, it is impossible to fail in this life. God is watching and he rewards those who want it the most. If you want it the most, you can have it. It's a competition. Every dollar you want, the house you want, the car you want, other people want. You have to win. You have to want it the most and genuinely do your best, because most people aren't capable of doing their best anymore. To get up every day, whether they feel like it or not, and perform regardless. That is the secret. You cannot fail if you try your best. So if you don't have the car you want, the woman you want, the relationship you want, the friends you want, the house you want, you haven't been trying your best. Because I guarantee you, the second you do, you'll have all of it. I believe there's only 3 reasons people are not rich. One of 3 reasons. They're either stupid, arrogant, or lazy. Stupid is actually the smallest category. People think, oh, you know, there's a lot of stupid people. There are, but I know a lot of stupid people with a lot of money, right? There's so much money in the world. To be too stupid to generate money, I think is less than 5% of the population. We're genuinely too dumb to ever make a good wage. Then you have arrogant and lazy, and these are the 2 most common. Lazy because people just, oh, you know, but I need time to myself. Oh, you know, but it's the evening. Or, you know, it's hyper competitive. There are people who do not need times to themselves. There are people, there's an Indian in Islam, or there's a guy in Islamabad who'll do your job online for $3 an hour and he doesn't sleep. You're going to lose, right? So if you're going to be lazy in any regard, you have to understand there are people like me who are billionaires who work 18 hours a day. When I finish this, I get into my car, I open my laptop, and I work on my way to my next appointment. I'm going to work all night until the day I go. When I go to sleep, I close my laptop and I'm sleeping. I work. That's all I do. Lazy is a big problem because people go, oh, but I just want to relax. If you just want to relax, that's fine. But you're competing against people who just don't want to relax, and you're going to lose. And the last, and I'd say that's around, a lot of people have that element to them. A lot of people are lazy. That's about 50% of people. But the main reason people are not rich is because they're arrogant. If you were to take somebody who says, I'm doing my best, I'm really trying, and you were to get an exact schedule of their last week and find all the times they've wasted time, you'd say, look, you've wasted time, wasted time, wasted time, wasted time. You know what's actually amazing? Most of those people are not even self-reflective enough to go, you're right, I'm not trying my best. You know what they'd say? Well, I have to rest sometimes. Well, I have to have a social life. Well, they'd be so arrogant because they're arrogant.
I had to do my Facebook.
Yeah. You'd even show them, here's where you fucked up. Well, you know, I have to, you're crazy. And then they go back to being a loser. A lazy person thinks he's working too hard, and a successful person thinks he isn't working hard enough. And we're doing 20 times the work they are. And we're like, oh, I could have done more, could have done this. Oh, I missed that today, can't miss that again. Oh, I should have taken that call. I should have flown there. I should have. That's, you know, we have guilt about it. They don't give a solitary fuck. And even if you pointed it out to them, they'd sit there and go, oh yeah, and they'd make some excuse for it. It's the brutal arrogance of people. Exceptionally difficult. And if you're not prepared for that, you're always going to suffer. You're either going to suffer the pain that it takes to be important, or you're going to suffer being a nobody. And my father did a fantastic job of preparing me for that.
My body is a...
I believe that life, the purpose of it is to learn, and it is to struggle, and it is to suffer. I think that if you want to be any kind of man of caliber, your life needs to be full of suffering.
That's life. That's life as a man. You get pushed over, and you just got to get up.
We look at struggles and we look at problems and we want to overcome them.
That's the reality of the masculine world. It's a problem. I want to fix that. I got to beat it. It's inside of us.
If you don't have that story of pain, you don't have a story at all.
My body is a...
We learn through pain and suffering, which is why God gives it to us. Because God is here to teach us. God is like a father, and a father teaches you through pain.
My father built me to be this man, so I have a duty to take. If you're not dutiful, if you don't believe in putting honor in your last name, if you don't want to be physically and mentally strong, you don't believe in having a difficult life, if you stray from this, all you end up with is misery. I don't think I could have possibly ever had it better. You have to ask yourself an honest question. Do you need somebody to motivate you before you train? Does your girlfriend have to convince you to put the video games down for you to put them down? Do you need to hear, or do you need to be given something from outside for you to end up doing any of the things which are required for the basic premise of survival? And a lot of people will say, well, you know, it doesn't matter if I don't have that much help, or it doesn't matter if I don't try that hard because I want to be the average man. Average is simply failing so similarly to the people around you that you don't realize you failed at all. Everyone else around you is failing the same way, so you don't see it as failure, you see it as average. But if the bar of the average person's life is being constantly reduced, it doesn't matter if you're an average person because you've moved into loserdom. In the 1950s, the average man had a good house, he had a wife who loved him, he had children, he had a nice car on the drive, he was the king of his castle. Nowadays, the average man can't pay his bills, divorced wife, his kids don't listen to him, he's not respected, he's in debt. Now, he's still average, but you can't compare him to the man from the 1950s who was average. The social standing for average is being pushed further and further down. The average man's life is going to get worse and worse and worse. So claiming that you're average is no longer enough. In fact, for you to have a life like the average man had in the 1950s, a nice big house, multiple cars on the drive, a woman who adores you, who will birth your children, who obeys you, who stays at home and cooks and cleans, children who love you and would obey you and fear you when you raise your voice, who adopt your creeds and your worldviews. For you to have the average man's life today, you're now an exceptional man.
Yeah, you need $150K a year to get that.
$150K, minimum.
A minimum.
So
The average man's life is actually an exceptional man's life, depending on the time you look at it, because they're pushing down the average man's life further and further. You're not allowed to be an average man anymore and sit around waiting for the government or your girlfriend or your mom or your friends or anybody else to take care of you and convince you to not be an idiot. You think being average is fine because you think that means kids, wife, job, and your legacy continues. But average means average. And you don't get to define the definition of average, your government does. The average today is a divorced wife paying child support with 1 or 2 kids who've been programmed by the school and the ex-wife to hate you. This is exactly where you're gonna end up if you want to stay the average person. Average men are cucked slaves that will be useless tomorrow because they'll be replaced by AI. You're gonna watch helplessly while your wife feeds your 11-year-old son hormone pills and the state forces you to watch it as inclusivity training. You're gonna ask God why this has happened. He's gonna respond to you with very simple wisdom. An average life led to an average outcome. And the average man's outcome for the future is dire. You don't want the average man's life now, and you certainly don't want it in 30 years from now. You want it in the top 0.001%, and you must act accordingly. You need to get rich now. I don't know how else to put it in simple language. You need to panic, stop sleeping, feel nervous, get worried, and get rich now, before the schism is so large in the universe that the wormhole closes and brokies cannot escape perpetual and never-ending slavery for their entire dynasty of their bloodline. The average man, who's always been a slave but has been afforded some luxuries, is soon going to be stripped of all luxuries and be left as nothing other than a slave purely.
There is a secret to the universe that most don't know. If you actually try your best, you can't lose. Not pretend to try your best, not try your best 90% of the time, not try your best with excuses. If you genuinely try your best all of the time, all day, every day, it's impossible to lose. If you actually try your best, it is impossible to fail in this life. God is watching and he rewards those who want it the most. If you want it the most, you can have it. It's a competition. Every dollar you want, the house you want, the car you want, other people want. You have to win. You have to want it the most and genuinely do your best, because most people aren't capable of doing their best anymore. To get up every day, whether they feel like it or not, and perform regardless. That is the secret. You cannot fail if you try your best. So if you don't have the car you want, the woman you want, the relationship you want, the friends you want, the house you want, you haven't been trying your best. Because I guarantee you, the second you do, you'll have all of it. All of it.
I've never seen somebody who is determined in their heart to get something, not get it. I've never seen someone wake up and say, nah, this is all I care about, this is all I want, not get it. Everyone who thought that way in fighting was a world champion. Everyone who thought that way about money was rich. I've never seen anyone fail. If it's all you want, you're gonna get it. You're gonna find a way to win.
There is no tomorrow.
To win, it's a battle. You have to destroy your enemies.
There is no tomorrow.
It's endless work, endless attack and assault. That is how you win in the end. You never give up and you endlessly persevere.
Most people aren't trying. They don't know what trying is.
And the true secret to the universe is that if you try your best, you never fail.